Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hold on, I got some message. I'm setting something up for later. Setting up a thing, game we played before came through and wanted to sponsor for a second time. And I learned about this like yesterday. I was like, oh, like late last night. It wasn't even like confirmed for sure. And then like literally just before stream is why I delayed. It wasn't just food, but then that stuff too. I was just figuring out what we got to do for that. But yeah, so hour and a half. No, yeah, 2 hours from now. We're doing a little collab and play a game. We'll play something before that, because I chatted so long last stream, so I just want to get into games a little quicker, like by the hour, today. But yeah, hell yeah, more sponsors, exactly. I mean, if it's games I think I might like, I see no reason not to take them. I always will. Right? They usually ask you for 2, maybe 3 hours of time playing a game. And when you stream for like 6, I'm like, yeah, I could spare that. And if I don't love a game, like, I'm not gonna die having to play for 2 hours, like. And all the contracts I take, if I really hate a game, I can just stop midway and be like, yeah, don't give me the fee, I'm good. Or sometimes they do give me the fee and I could still just stop midway. You know what I mean? If I'm just like, oh, this ain't it. So whenever they come through and they're like, yo, you want to play your game again? And I liked it the first time, I'm like, yeah, all right. Hell yeah. So we'll be doing that later. I wanted to start a longer playthrough of a game this week, but all the sponsors that I have for the month kind of collapsed onto this week, just with scheduling on their end. So this is just like trying stuff out week. And we have classic. It keeps happening where I try to spread it out so it's like one per week max, and then we end up having none for a while, and then they all focus up onto one time period. So it's always crazy, but it is what it is. I have the new Shinobi game that looks really good. Someone actually put in the suggestions channel in the Discord. I thought it was funny because we're actually planning to play that. They sponsored for tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I've got the new Sonic racing game. Sega came through and was like, "Yo, hey." So I was like, "Oh shit." You guys know when I saw the ad for it, I was like, "Oh my god, Sonic Racing!" Like I really wanted to play it, so fuck yeah, I'm taking that one. I'm excited. So we're gonna do that this week, with some other stuff maybe in between, but yeah. So we got another one coming through today, and then we got Shinobi tomorrow. We got Sonic Sunday. It's gonna be nice. We also have Black Wars. Black Wars is on Saturday. So I feel like we got a lot this week. And I'm excited because the the team for Block Wars this Saturday are like big Minecraft players, the ones that are really good. We got Redunes and Mysticat. And then you have me, Lion Shoe, and Rev. We got Rev Scarecrow. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. So let me message him. I meant to message him on something. There we go. Check in with him on the thing. But yeah, so we've got some good stuff coming up. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Oh, I have another note. Yo, you said something about Sega and it made me think. Let me find the... Where are my notes on this? Wait, the Shinobi game for tomorrow is called Shinobi Vengeance. That's the name of it. When is San Japan? Is that this weekend or is that... Yeah, it's this weekend. So San Japan. So I might not stream on my main channel the Block Wars. I might just throw it on alt real quick because I have meet and greets and stuff. That day, before and after Block Wars. So I'm gonna do my best to, you know, be at those obviously and not fuck up the time. So I am going to be probably not streaming that on main. But for San Japan, any merch that is on my online merch store will be frozen during this weekend. The merch store will not be a place you can purchase from because we're taking the merch stock, or some of it, and we're putting it out at the convention on a table at a booth. So that's why we won't be doing any online sales this weekend. So since it's with Horizons merch, it'll be at their booth. So if anyone is going to San Japan, a lot of stock will not be available. Some stuff will still be because we're just taking a portion of some things and putting them out on the table. But other things, especially things that are like running out, like the polos and stuff, there won't even be any online this weekend because all of them are gonna go over there. So yeah, if there's anything you wanted from the merch store, you were maybe waiting on or whatever, a lot of that will be at the booth instead, and there's a chance some of that could just sell out there, or maybe it'll go back. Who knows? I don't really know. So I'm just giving you that forewarning. So during San Japan, a lot of things, especially things that'll be running out of stock more soon, will not be available online for that this weekend. Okay. There's also a new keychain. They have a music theme this year, so there's a bunch of VTubers that have keychains related. And so here's actually, am I supposed to show you yet? I don't know. We have one of me with a cello. It's cute. So that'll be a new item that's there. And then any remaining stock that isn't sold at the con, plus any additional keychains, those will be September 3rd. They go back up on the online store. Okay, so any merch is on the online store. A bunch of it will just pause for the weekend while we have it at the convention. And then it comes back. Whatever stock is unsold comes back and is back on the online store, plus the new keychain. We're thinking a lot of the polo sizes are going to be completely sold out at San Japan. So if there's anything that you wanted, just grab it now. But yeah, so I have two meet and greets on Saturday. One is at 12 p.m. Central, and the other one's at 4 p.m. Central. And then I should be doing Block Wars in between those two. It'll be a tight squeeze, but it should be doable because that'll be what, 1 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. Block Wars usually starts at 2. So I'll be doing that. All right. Let me grab my... Oh, I can't show the picture. I was double checking that real quick. Here's the keychain. Ooh. Ooh. The white borders were the acrylic ends. Ooh. So it'll be at San Japan. New product. Yee. All right. And yeah. Them's the updates, I guess. Them's the updates. But yeah, so merch this weekend, merch store, a lot of stuff going on pause. We're taking it to San Japan, selling it there, then coming back the 3rd. Okay? All right. Sound good? Does it sound good? That's what we're going to be doing, so that'll be nice. Yeah, whatever's left, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If there's anything that you really wanted, and it's something that we're running low on, like especially the polos, like those sold very quickly with the stock that we had. So if anyone is like, oh, I really wanted that polo, it might just be gone this weekend. So get it literally today. All right? They're gone. A lot of sizing was already selling out. I mean, it was like the stock that we have left for those is really low. So I'm glad you guys like the polos, though. I'm glad you guys like them. I'm glad. Any chance the cello keychain will be, like I said, yeah, anything that's left unsold of those, which will probably be a good amount because you know, every time we launch something, there's a bunch at first. That will be on there September 3rd. All right. All right. Will you play something today? No, I hate video games so much. I hate them so much. Grr. Never. Got your Boris coaster, Monster Polo. I'm glad. I love the coaster so much. Oh, it's my favorite. It's actually my favorite. It came out so cute. I want to change our playlist. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Italian mandolins. All right. Ta-da. Boris has been keeping your desk clean real well. Yeah, I am very, very, very bad at making sure I use coasters, so I want to use my own coaster. And it'll hopefully encourage me to actually use a coaster on this desk instead of getting my desk mat wet all the time, which is disgusting. But you know what? I live that life, and I'm not ashamed of it. I am not ashamed. You were thinking of buying 4 more polos? You have one for every workday of the week. Yes. I mean, that's really why I wanted to make them, because so many people just work. You know how many people watch and they're like, yo, how's stream going? Watching from work. So I was like, will these people always just wear t-shirts if I sell t-shirts? Like, is that good, or is that actually bad for some of them? You know? So, I mean, and t-shirts aren't always the problem. It's more so about what's on the t-shirt, right? Like, you can wear a t-shirt that's like, hey, I'm a normal person. But what about t-shirts that are like, I love anime, and have a giant anime woman on it with like her ass out? You know, you can't really wear that at work. So we try to do what we can, right? You know? Also, if some of you are saying you're like, oh, maybe I'll wait on the polo. I'm not necessarily planning to restock them. Not saying we never will, or I'm not going to make a different one in the future, maybe. I don't have any current plans. We already did one restock. I don't have any current plans to restock them right now. So, just saying. Just know. Brother, stop sending giant paragraphs about ads. I don't care. It's your little bit. Okay, and when your little bit is like one line, it's fine. When your bit is to just dump paragraphs of something that we don't care about, stop. Okay? Keep it to like one line, dude. You bought one of each faction, but you're only wearing the monsters and undead ones when you eat barbecue, so they get disgusting. That's dedication. That's a lot. That's a lot. Ooh, you know the song that's playing on the BGM? It's like that typical Italian song, and everyone hears it and they're like, oh, something something mangia. Oh, I love Italy or whatever the fuck. And they're like, they always play this song when in videos and in movies like food comes out. And it makes me so mad because this song is about a train. The song is about a train. The guy's excited because this train was finally built and the line could go like over this mountain, and he's singing, he's like, hooray, this infrastructure, yay, infrastructure. That's what this is about. And then they always play it when food comes out, and I'm like, this is not, the song has nothing to do with food. Yeah, people are like, it's just like we're in San Gennaro, and I'm like, brother, what? The guy's very excited and he's like celebrating a train. I don't know, dude. I don't know. They always play this shit when like pizza comes out, and they're like, pizza pasta, and then they start like saying shit that if you said to anyone else, people would be like, hey, don't say that, but then for some reason when you say it to like Italians, it's fine. And I'm like, okay. Okay. Noted, you know, noted. What about food on a train? Oh, I always want to go on one of those fancy trains with like the dining car and sleeper cars and all that. You know, one of those long train rides. But I think I would do it, and then afterward I would be like, that wasn't that special. Right? That's how I would feel. Reminds me of Paper Mario? Yeah, exactly. I think the idea is cool, but yeah, right. Is it worth the cost, right? I don't know. I could spend that same amount on like, the thing is, are the meals that good even? I could spend the same amount on a nice hotel and food in a place that doesn't move, you know? I don't know. Much to think about. You want to do a murder mystery train? Is that like a thing though? Are there like train packages where they do a murder mystery? Thing is, okay, here's the thing. I think like escape rooms are cool and stuff, but every time I've done one, I felt like the place felt kind of cheap and shitty, which is probably the fault of the patrons going there that shit up the place. Right? Probably. Like, they feel kind of dirty, but I think that's because people touch everything, you know? It's not really the fault of the place. But some of them are good, and some of them are just kind of like, meh. A little shitty. Usually pop-ups. Yeah, I think when it's a pop-up, it tends to be shittier, whereas the other ones are good. But they have one escape room that they build, and then they have, like, what, a couple of rooms you can do, and then that's it. That's it. You've been to swanky ones, but they cost big dollars. Yeah, and I'm a cheap motherfucker. I don't want to, like, do those often, you know? I'm not doing it. Can't fool me. I'm sure they're pretty cool. They seem nice. I've seen pictures of some of the really nice ones, and I want to do them, but I don't know. I feel like I could just play a puzzle game, right? But then that defeats the purpose, because then you're staying at home and you're not going outside. And isn't the point like you're going outside to do a thing? I don't know. We need more puzzle-based activities where you can do them outside of the home. Yeah, bring your puzzle friends. Exactly. Building them must be quite the undertaking. Oh, for sure. 100%. I don't know. I think about it all the time. It'd be nice to do more, but I think I want more group puzzle games. I think that's the important point here. Is escape rooms, you go in there with people and you do it together, right? But a lot of puzzle games are just solo, which I still enjoy, but I think I want more puzzle games that our multiplayer properly. We need that. We need that. It's LARPing. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, it being a group activity makes it so you can, like, really LARP, you know? And obviously it being live action is important, but I want to do that online with friends too. Yeah, We Were Here is good, but it's 2 people, right? Which is pretty good. Escape Room Sim is all right. Not bad. But I want more games like that. That's just me. Blueprints multiplayer expansion. You know what I want to start doing? I want to take games like that, and I want to just grab a friend and be like, we're racing. You stream it, I stream it right now. Okay, we start at this time. We start a run, and then whoever gets to room 46 first wins, right? I want to do stuff like that. It could be good. Mental image co-op Blueprints where GEEGA and Joel spend 5 minutes arguing about architecture per 1 minute puzzling. I think Blueprints is actually a really good game to couch co-op with someone, where one is playing and one is just like writing stuff down and logging everything. Right? Like one is like the mechanical player and one's the noticer, or whatever you want to call them. I have my friend that I saw over the weekend, her dad like just got a new gaming rig, and he was like showing it. He was sending pictures to her, and he was like, show it to her. So I was looking at it, and I was looking at, like, he was talking about what kinds of games he likes to play, and he's like, I'm looking for recommendations. He likes games. He's like a tech dude, but he just doesn't like know about a lot of smaller games or indie games or anything like that. Not that I think Blueprints is small, but it's not AAA, right? So I was trying to recommend stuff that they could play together, but she's like not good mechanically at games. She plays like Animal Crossing, Professor Layton, and that's it. Like she's been playing Breath of the Wild, but she took like 2 weeks to do this one island because she's so bad mechanically at these games. You know, she's a smart person, but like she was never much of a gamer like years ago. You know, so she just doesn't have the mechanical skill, and she gets like scared by shit easily. You know. So what she likes to do is she likes to have her dad sit there and play a game, and she sits there and couch co-ops it with him, where if she's not holding a controller, she's sitting there and playing it with him. So if it's a puzzle game, they do it together, right? So I was trying to think about like stuff that would be good for her, and I was like, you know what? You guys should 100% do Blueprints, because she reads a lot. Okay, she's very good with like lore of things, and any game that does have deep lore she gets like really into. I think Outer Wilds as well, the 2 of them, I recommended it to her. I was like, go to your dad, give him this list, tell him to download these 2 and to play them with you both there, like not alone. You 2 sit there and play it together. So I think that'll be good for them. I think it'll be nice. She's like my most normie friend, and you know, she still likes stuff. Like she likes The Witcher as far as like the books and the movie go, and she's like watched a playthrough of the game. You know, and she likes like nerd shit, but she's more of like a comic book nerd rather than a video game person, you know. But she's trying to get more into it, so I'm trying to figure out like what makes sense for her. It has to be stuff where time is not an issue. Time cannot be an issue. And it has to not be overwhelming. Like, I don't think she's ever tried to play a card game. I think she could figure it out. She was like a math goblin. She could do it. Okay, 100%. But I don't know that she would like it. I don't know. So she needs stuff that's not that. I don't know. So I started them with, I'm like, you need to play Outer Wilds and Blueprints. Go. Go. And I told her not to look anything up. So I was like, play Blueprints and get... She has, I have the same one. She has that notebook tablet. What the fuck is the name of it? Oh, I was looking at it just here. The Remarkable tablet, which is just like a notepad to write shit on, and it feels like paper, but it's not. It's ink, or digital ink. She has one of those. So I was like, I want you to have your dad download this game. Don't look it up. Sit next to him with that tablet and just play the game. That's it. That's all I told her. So, we'll see. All knows but money. Yeah. I really like writing physically for notes. But I need like a tablet that can digitize it. I like typing for notes too, but I like that I can sit down and like lay down and write. For some reason, when I'm working on something creative, I just work better that way. So I've been taking this. You know, this is why. Oh, lean over, grab it. This is why I need a tasteful side chair in this room. Okay, I need a tasteful chair. I've got my computer chair. I have my computer. And then like nothing. I've got a cabinet with some stuff on it. I've got a bunch of cat furniture. I have a space where I want to put a comfortable, tasteful chair, okay? Like an accent chair. And I want to sit there and write notes in it instead of going to another room every time. But a lot of the tasteful chairs feel like shit. Or the ones that look nice and feel nice to sit on, the cost is shit, okay? So I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Do you try to write pretty or do you write like doctors? Hold on. There's a whole spectrum of writing, okay? Let's be realistic. I write in cursive because when I write in print, it looks like a goblin wrote it. It's better nowadays, but in my youth, it looked like I wrote with 2 sticks on the wall, okay? Let's be honest. I write in cursive and I think it looks not good. I think it's barely legible. I should write something for you guys at some point and show you. Handwriting test. I just don't have like I don't have my tablet set up or anything. I should do it. I'll do it. I'll write on this tablet and I'll like, let's see if I can send it to my computer later. I'll do that off stream. It's very, my handwriting's very not great, I think. You have dysgraphia? I always wondered if I had, like, mild dysgraphia or something. But the thing is, like, I didn't have trouble remembering things. I think it was just mechanical skill. But when I was younger, I thought it was something like that because I was having so much trouble with it. But, and in my current age, I don't think I did that bit with the Dons. Oh, that's true. We did write something. I think you guys, some of you might have seen. I don't know if we still have an image of it anywhere. They were asking what everyone's handwriting looked like, so they all, like, wrote something on a post-it and took a picture. And I did it too. So I think my handwriting's been shown somewhere, but I don't know. The trick is you just write non-cursive so bad everyone thinks it's cursive. Hey, that works too. That works too. I don't know, man. I just my shit looks like definitely like doctor handwriting, but not quite so bad. I tend to I've been trying to like fix it, but I tend to have a really big slant when I write, where it like slants forward really hard. And then if I write too slow, it looks worse. This is the problem. Like when you practice, you should go slowly and then speed up, right? And slowly get used to like the motions of writing a letter. When I write slowly, I like fuck up and I start adding extra bits to it because my hand is just so used to moving at whatever speed when I'm writing. So I'm like writing an R and I write like 3 R's and I'm like, what? Why'd I do that? But it's because I'm trying to go slow to make it look nice, but my hand just starts making little upward motions and I end up with like 100 letters more than I'm supposed to have in a word, you know? So I can't, it's hard for me to practice like making my handwriting look better because I just fuck up entirely. I don't know. Yeah, and then when I write in print, it also looks like a cursive hybrid. It's hard for me to write in proper print. I can't write a G without like looping upward I'll do the circle, I'll come down, I'll start coming back up, and I can't stop there. Just every time I go whoop up to the line again. I don't know. I don't know. It's just Disney. Yeah. Yeah, there's some letters in cursive too that I struggle with when writing. So like B, the letter B, if I'm trying to write a lowercase b and I'm trying to not go fast, I'm trying to go slow to make sure it looks really legible, I will fuck up that B every time. I'll start on a slant and then I'll go straight down and now it looks weird and the height of the lower part of the B gets all fucked up. Found on Buddha's channel, want me to throw geeking out? Go ahead. Go right ahead. But yeah, that B gets fucked up every time, man. S kills you. Yeah, I can't write a print S without it looking really bad. Like I can physically write it. Oh yeah, there's the clip. Oh, we all wrote brother, and they were like making us all write. Let me see. You said mine is toward the end. Where the hell is mine? I'll find it. Sideways, right? Okay, it's sideways, but I wrote brother because we all wrote brother, posted on Twitter in game. There we go. It's sideways, but that's me writing brother, B-R-O-T-H-A. Brother. How do I tilt stuff in OBS? It's always like a weird... Hold on, transform. Yes, there we go. Brother. That's an A at the end, can you believe? I tried to not write it in cursive. Guys, this was me attempting to write in print. I need to make that really clear. I was trying so hard. I was like, how do I make an uppercase B without it being cursive? That R, I tried really hard on that R, okay, to make that not like come back down, and then it went into the O, and then I stopped. You can see there's a light line going to the T. That was still cursive, kind of, but it got all fucky, and then you see I added like a little extra like before I go into the T up into the H again. That was hard. That was hard for me. And then the H, the height of the little nub of the H got fucked up because I was trying to go slow. And that's an A at the end. Again, got fucked up because I'm trying to, like, not write in cursive. This is my attempt at writing in print, writing brother. Oh, it was so fucked up. It was so fucked up. Look at that. Brother. I really tried, man. Sometimes you try so hard, but you just can't write in print. It's the best I can do, man. It's the best I got in me. You write like a Victorian coal magnet. Thanks. Thanks. That's really what I was going for, man. That's the brand. Yup. Why didn't he read that out? Hold on, let me reload the TTS for you. I'll read it out for you. Someone challenged me to write some words down to see if my handwriting was worse than my blind friend. I was told I can at least type well. Faction redeems. Thank you. Thank you, Phoenix. I don't know. I like my handwriting. I just think it's bad. Like, objectively. You know what I mean? They don't teach cursive by default to everyone in the US. Back in my day, everyone had to learn cursive. You wrote in print, but you had to, at some point, learn to write in cursive to develop your signature and to just understand so that you could read it. Okay? Yeah, you had to be able to do it. You had to practice it. As far as that, beyond that, I don't know. I don't know what they do nowadays. They said you would need to write essays in college with cursive so you can at least read it, but not really write it. Yeah. There were a lot of things people were told. I think they stopped because yeah, the typing, right? You started taking typing courses at some point. I think that's kind of why they did that. But it used to be a thing. It used to be a thing a long time ago. Yeah, they'd be like, you won't always have a calculator, so you have to be able to do rote math. Though I think you should. I saw this video of a kid. He was doing the mental abacus technique, right? Where he's able to like picture, visualize an abacus and add, like they put a bunch of 5-digit numbers in front of him. And he just looks at them very briefly and just adds them all together. And it's like, it's this. Because he's doing mental abacus. But the thing is, he's visualizing it so hard. He's like moving his head, jerking his head around his arms. He genuinely looked like he was about to seize.
I grew up in that awkward era where I had to learn typing and cursive.
Yeah.
Or how to use a card catalog and library search software.
Yeah.
Old.
Yep. Same. I experienced that. But dude, the kid looked like he was tweaking. He looked like he was full on tweaking. He was sitting there going like, ear, and he looked crazy. And I was like, what is, oh, and then he like writes the answer and I was like, oh, it's mental abacus. Okay. I love that video. It's such a good one. It's so good. You feel lucky you grew up after card catalogs. Don't get me started on them. Don't get me started. But yet the mental abacus thing, I think about that and I'm like, you know what? I should learn that. Like, what? This is clearly the most efficient way to be able to do math in your head. Everyone should learn that, shouldn't they? Not popular at all in the West, but like straight up, you should be able to do it. Not that you have to do it super well and not to this kid's degree, not that it should be done super fast like him with like, 10 5-digit numbers. He just goes ear and calculates it. But to some extent, I think everyone should be able to do a little bit of that. The abacus is good. Abacus, cool, Should start telling kids that like an abacus is the coolest thing they could use ever. We should start influencers learning mental abacus so that kids do it. Use the FOMO. Wouldn't some people be at a disadvantage because they can't mentally visualize things? Yeah, but who cares? It's for the people who can.
What's your opinion on analog clocks and kids not knowing how to read them?
Analog clocks? Well, that's stupid. They're not even hard to read. Analog clocks, they're so easy. Like, they're literally so easy. When a kid can't read it, I don't look at that kid and go, wow, this kid's an idiot. I go, what the fuck did their parents do that they didn't teach them this, or that their school didn't teach them this? Because it doesn't take that long to learn it. It's numbers and little lines that you can count. And they go in a circle, and you're like, there are numbers on it. And they go 1 through 12 because you know how time works. And then there's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, and there are lines on there. The thing is, even if you don't know exactly how it works, you could do the math and figure it out very easily, right? You could logic out how that clock is read very easily, right?
Silly chatter, it's pronounced anatogy.
Analog. But yeah, I don't know.
Why would I teach my kid? That's what tubers are for.
Ah, yes. I always say it. If what's her name? If Miss Rachel can be like the biggest influencer in the world, why aren't people just doing the same channel with a hand cam and a VTuber? Like, what the fuck? What are we doing here, man? I should quit everything. I should be Miss Rachel too, like I don't know if you can actually like monetize videos properly though if they're for kids. Like you can, but not the same way. I know there's some weird roadblocks to getting paid for that stuff. You can't take sponsors on those videos, obviously, etc., etc., but you also still can, so I don't know. It's easier for kids that don't know numbers yet to visualize time with analog clocks. My mom used to show me arrows on the clock and point to where they need to be to tell me how long something would take. Yeah. It's like, it's a solid... There's a reason clocks haven't changed for a long time. Digital is just a representation of the number, but the physical clock has not changed because it works. It works really well. You didn't know who she was until the top 10 list from Rolling Stone. Yeah, did you see Mouse was on it? What was she, 17 on there? Hold on, let me find it. Where was she? Though something about her blurb wasn't right. Let me find it. Oh no, they fixed it. They fixed it. When I first opened the article, they messed the thing up, but they fixed it. Yeah, I don't like that they put she claims, but then again, legally that's true, so that's fine. You know, okay, let me complain, actually. I will complain. I think it's very nice that they put her on here. I'm glad that they wrote about her at all. Yay. But they said she's become iconic for her pink and purple-haired avatar, yes, wit and high-pitched, squeaking voice alone. Can we stop with this fucking word squeaking? Can we stop? Every time any woman speaks in a high-pitched voice, I see this word used, and I see this word used by, not saying Rolling Stone's trying to do this. I don't think they're trying to do it. But whenever I go to like the normie side of the internet, you know, and I see a VTuber get posted outside of the VTuber bubble and a bunch of people who don't know much about VTubers talk about this stuff, they always say, I hate how they all have those high-pitched squeaky voices. They all say that. And they always say it in a negative way. I'd like to ban the word. Squeaky makes it sound like a squeaky wheel. Couldn't you just say high-pitched? Also, her tone of voice isn't squeaky. She actually has like a little bit of a raspy voice sometimes when she's speaking. Like, it's not squeaky. Actually, isn't a good descriptor. Like, regardless of the pitch, you know what I mean? But this wasn't the problem. They said, which is real, she claims. I don't know why we had to add she claims. As a result of CVID complications. This is true. But they changed it because originally they wrote COVID complications. And when I first opened the article, they had not yet fixed that. And I was like, what? I think someone saw CVID and like their brain autocorrected, or maybe it was actual autocorrect and then it got proofread that way, you know? But they fixed it, thankfully. They did fix it. And they wrote it out too. They wrote like common variable immunodeficiency after the fix, which is good. I guess so no one makes the same mistake it sees and thought they just forgot the O or something. But I remember when I first read it, I was like, huh? Everything else was fine. I was just like, what is that? But no, they they fixed it. Yeah, it might have actually been autocorrect. I don't know. Shit was kind of funny, but they fixed it, thankfully. It was cool. It was cool to see her on there. It was really cool. It was really neat. It was really neat. Said something got around that she had a high-pitched voice for the same reason as Corpse has a low-pitched one. I don't know how that got started. For GERD, hey, guys, hold on. Hold on. She's got a lot of things going on, okay? You can't just be like, she's got GERD, that's what it is. She's got a lot of shit going on. She also has a lot of damage that's, she's talked about this, that's occurred from past infections, which has nothing to do with any, like, chronic existing conditions that have affected her voice. When you get an infection and the infection runs rampant and your body doesn't just get rid of it, those tissues where the infection is occurring get damaged. So it's like you can't even just pinpoint it as like a result of one thing, right? That is one of those things for sure. But I want to add that too, right? It's like it's not just oh GERD. It's like a lot of stuff that affects a lot of things. Yeah, right. You get scarring inside. Sometimes tissues just decay and go away, right? Sometimes bacterial or viral infections can just erode tissue. And obviously, if you change the shape of your vocal cords, you change the shape of things in that area, even musculature, whatever, that can affect how things sound, right? Bone structure, too. Let's say you lose bone in an area, that changes how your sound resonates around in your mouth, and it might change the way you sound, right? So there are a lot of factors, too, that I just want to make note of that. That, like, there's so much that can happen with that kind of damage. It's crazy. I don't know if she has from overuse like I have too. Like I just have vocal nodules. I've just got nodules. That's all. And that is just scarring on my vocal cords. It's just scar tissue that builds up from a bunch of overuse. There you go, right? So there can also be things like that sometimes if you you, you just strain them a lot, you can end up with it too. And you could be like, ooh, this thing caused this issue, but maybe resulting strain from that issue is what actually caused the finalized sound. You know what I mean? So it's such like an interesting but complex set of issues that result in interesting voice, right? In their cases. Is it gonna take up smoking, stop taking my GERD meds to get a better voice? No, every time I hear Corpse, he's like suffering. He's just like, oh, I'm so sick. I always feel so bad. His is rough. His is real rough. Vocal resting is real important. Yeah, I mean, my nodules are old news. They were worse in the past, and I didn't do like a vow of silence, but I really toned down what I was doing with my life in general to just make sure I wasn't overusing my voice for a while. This is before streaming. And that really helped. But there's kind of like a minimum. Some people, their nodules go away. Sometimes if you have enough scarring, your nodules just go down to a certain size, and that's kind of like their base point, and they can get worse if you make them worse, but they can also stay right there and not get worse if you take care. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So there are certain times where it's one of the reasons you don't really hear me like scream, and if I do like yell, it's always in the same two kind of like tones, because if I try to like do a normal scream, sometimes just air comes out. like there are certain pitches that I could try to hit, and if I'm like just letting air out normally, like yelling, like it just like literally air just comes out. So it's weird because when you're like holding your vocal cords in a certain position to hit a certain pitch, they're at a very specific location, like your larynx has moved up or down to the right spot for that pitch, and then also your vocal cords are trying to now push together. Sometimes because of where the scarring is, those nodules just like create a hole, and instead of your vocal flaps flapping together and making a sound, you just get air. Like because there's like just a gap present, and that's what I end up with. So thankfully it only affects like some tones for me. Usually I do have a lot of like in my voice from that too, but it's not as bad. That was kind of always there before the nodules too. It just made it worse. But yeah, it makes it hard for me to like yell and stuff. It's rough. You suffer from GERD. You're on 80 milligrams every day. Oof. Yeah, I know a couple people that have it. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Saw a clip of Brendan Urie singing recently, and holy fuck, his vocal cords strained. Yeah. It gets really bad. Really bad. So that's why, for me, streaming is cool because I can be on the mic. Right? And if I raise my voice a little bit, it might sound like I'm really raising my voice on the mic, but I'm like really not. I'm like really not. It's comfortable. It's like a lot safer for me, I feel. A lot safer. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope that people, when they have stuff going on with their vocal cords, I hope they recognize vocal strain early and just stop, because I nodules suck. Okay, especially for people that want to sing and want to be able to do things like that vocally. If they want to voice act, it can be really tough to push through and still have careers relating to voice, you know? So there are a few people, this is why one of the reasons why I get so worried when some people do subathons, because you potentially, depending on the person, not everyone deals with this much vocal strain just from talking. Some people, the way they talk, they end up straining themselves really hard, and then that's just normal streaming. Then they do a subathon and they're like killing their voice, killing it. So I just hope people would be careful with that. So Mike has, his GERD is rough. His GERD is rough. He said it makes, like, genuinely, it makes streaming hard. Like, Mike streams to the best of his ability, but he's got it rough. He's got it rough. So, you know, if and that guy, like, never takes breaks. Michi's voice is gone. Yeah. Yeah. It's rough, man. I don't know. I should pop in and say hi on her stream and make her not talk. I should do it. It's just that, like, she's usually on pause, on break, when I am streaming. And then when I'm not streaming, she's on, you know? And she doesn't need me to sit there and, like, babysit, so. Make your voice higher hurt to do? It depends. It depends. It depends on the type of tone I'm trying to do. If I'm doing, like, a stupid voice, it makes it easier. But there are certain tones that do hurt. It's more so for me, it's more so about raising my voice than it is pitch, more than anything, though. There are certain tones, I was saying this earlier, when I try to, like, yell or scream, if I try to be in, like, a higher tone while doing that, if I try to yell and raise the pitch of my voice, air comes out, or nothing. Like, I just can't sometimes. So if I raise my voice, I tend to stay in the same pitch. Like, maybe slightly higher, but not much, you know? So it's tough, man. There's some stuff I can do and some stuff I just can't. He still yells a lot. Yeah, Mike, I know. Does my peanut's voice hurt to do after a while? Not really. I do get a little, like, I can feel it in my muscles, not in my, like, larynx or throat area or anything. It's the front of my face. It's because I'm speaking in a nasally voice. There's a lot of resonance going through, like, a nasal area that I'm not used to having. So I feel it, but it's not strain. Stupid thought, what if the streamer makes a TTS with their own voice? I think a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want to run their voice through those kinds of programs, just for, like, safety issues. They don't want to. But more so it doesn't feel like you. It feels, like, uncanny when you use your own voice to do it, so a lot of people don't like doing that. Yeah, uncanny valley. Exactly. It feels odd. It feels odd. It feels like a body snatcher. Yeah, it does. It does. It has, like, this weird, I don't know. Like, it's not you. And it just freaks me out. I don't know. I always tell people, like, don't do AI voice stuff unless the person asks for it. You know? Even without your voice for 2 months after anterior cervical surgery, hope it comes back. Oof. Hopefully, yeah. Make sure you're, like, well, obviously with what your doctor says is okay, but make sure you're, like, exercising those muscles as well as you can. Well, voice in terms of singing, do you have, if you know, mezzo alto? I don't even know nowadays. I don't know anymore. I used to have a good range. Since all of the vocal damage, that shit has gone down. That range has narrowed a lot, but I don't really try much to keep it intact for the most part. Lex your soul, I hope they never crack the code on giving AI genuine human sounding tone. Yeah, in some ways, some of them are pretty good nowadays. I feel like there are some that are hard to replicate because you just can't, like you said, Lex Soul, you just can't get like that person's sound down right. I've noticed they're really bad with vocal fry. AI is really bad at trying to generate vocal fry and accents. It has a hard time with accents too. Some accents it does okay with, like British accents, certain ones are okay and then others are not. It can't do like the brummy thing. It just can't. Yeah, Mouse sounds like she's from Boston with her own AI. But it's gonna get better, you know? It's gonna get better over time. For sure. You were lowest bass, loved it when singing in a choir. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't really like I just did musical related stuff, but my music class was like orchestra, you know, so I didn't spend time in like the choir very much. But I did join in like some productions and things. And had a good time with that. So I got to do some roles and really enjoyed them, and I was like, hey, maybe I should like practice more and like really do this. And then, you know, then I fucked everything up. Then I went ahead and damaged my shit. So, oh well. I fucked it. I fucked it. And now here we are. But that's okay. I never really worried about it. I never felt like it was a sad thing for me because I played the cello. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I can't really sing easily, so I've lost music in my life. That never happened because I could still speak and I could still make sounds. I could still hit pitches. Whether I could do it in the tone I want to or not is a different story. But I could still hit them. And then I played the cello. So like I didn't really feel like a oh man, oh there's a gap in my life kind of thing. Like I didn't feel like that. It's different for someone where singing is like their main thing and they don't play a lot of instruments, you know? You think you were predisposed or you really went too far? Both. The way I speak, my like, my vocal, my airflow technique naturally, I'm predisposed to straining my voice pretty easily with the way I talk. You notice I don't really have the most, I don't know how it sounds to you, but I don't really have a very breathy voice in my opinion. I'm really air efficient. So I can take one breath and say a lot of words on one breath. Right? I restrict air a lot. As far as vocal technique goes, not like I'm trying to do this, I just naturally do it. Where I restrict air a lot and I say a lot in one breath. People who have breathy voices do the opposite. They push out a lot of air per word, so they need to take more breaths to say more. I just don't talk like that. But a lot of people do. That's kind of like the other, the opposite. Your diaphragm breather? Yes. So I like stomach breathe really well. I take really deep breaths. My breathing is like pretty slow. My doctor would always comment on it. He'd be like, you just breathe really slowly. And or like I take fewer breaths per minute, but I'm breathing very deeply and expelling all of the air out. So I got like good range of use of the full lung, I guess is the way to put it. And it's just, I don't know, everyone naturally is somewhere on this spectrum of how they use their air, how they breathe, how they talk. It's just whatever's comfortable for you. And that's what mine ended up in. And now it makes it that if I start yelling while being like this, while not using a lot of air, then I'm likely to like injure myself straight up. It's efficient, but it's not safe if you're trying to raise your voice, basically. No, I mean, you should play a brass instrument. I did for fun. I learned, not that it was like really great, but I played trumpet. I learned it because I really wanted to learn one of each. I wanted to learn one brass, one woodwind, something in like the pit with like percussion. I wanted to learn one of each, so I picked up one of each. So I did the trumpet. I was learning clarinet because I really wanted to play a bass clarinet, but I just stuck with normal clarinet because I would have had to buy a bass clarinet, and I was like, brother, I'm just trying to learn this. I'm not trying to like make this my main, you know. I did in the pit. I learned like most of the percussion, and then I learned how to do marimba because I already knew like the piano keys, so it wasn't too hard to fit that in. And then yeah, I did a little bit of everything. I learned viola because the viola has the same strings as the cello. So if you turn it and put it under your chin, the way you do with a viola, like a violin, you just use different fingers. You use like 1, 2, and 3 instead of 1, 3, 4 to hit the same notes. But the strings are the same, so it was easy for me to kind of like make it make sense in my head. I don't know. I played a lot of things. I played a little bit of everything just to learn it because I wanted to be well-rounded with that. But yeah. Yeah. Trumpet seems like a fun instrument to learn how to play. It took me a really long time to wrap my head around using just 3 valves. 3 valves and like open note where you're not pressing any of those 3 down to like make all of these sounds. That took me a hot minute learning scales on that, but we got there. And you have to read alto clef. Dude, well, the thing is, when you play cello, you have to learn how to play or how to read 2 clefs. So cellos, you learn bass clef. Okay, and you read bass clef typically. And then when you start playing solo cello and you start going and shifting up and playing higher notes, you can't keep writing lines above the staff really high up to represent these notes. So instead, mid sheet music, your music will just change clefs to tenor clef, which is alto clef shifted up a little, shifted up a line. So cello uses 2 different clefs, and you have to learn 2 methods of reading it, which a lot of lower instruments when you do solo like will do that. But yeah, so we had bass clef and tenor clef typically, and then if you knew how to read tenor clef, it's not hard to learn alto clef. It's the same thing, just shifted down a little bit on the paper. But yeah, we were sitting there and so I can read bass and tenor clef really easily. I can still read treble clef from like learning music theory, but I have to sit there and think sometimes a little bit. I have to think for a hot minute, but yeah. Basuna's the same thing. Yeah, the lower ones do it. Because whenever you're solo playing a lower instrument, lower pitched instrument, they always have you go up to crazy high notes on that low instrument, and then you have to, you know, make that make sense on paper. So, it gets rough. You played French horn? Dude, French horn was good because if you were a good French horn player, you would always like win everything. If you wanted to be a musician and you played French horn, you could probably get a spot in an orchestra because no one plays French horn. So if you were good at it, it's like one of the music careers that could actually work. Same thing with harp. Harp players can make so much money, and so many of them can have real careers playing harp because nobody plays harp, because it's expensive, because nobody owns a harp or has a harp teacher, because it costs $1 billion. So if you're one of the few people who has some sort of way to learn, you can actually go play that shit professionally, even though like playing an instrument is not really something most people get to do. French horn guy in your class is in a pro orchestra now? Yeah. French horns are really prevalent in a lot of music, in a lot of band music, and a lot of orchestral music. Like French horn is really good sounding, and the French horn parts in a lot of more difficult pieces are really there. But they just don't like have anyone play it because it's not really like needed for a lot of easier music. So, you know. You would get like really boring parts in school orchestras, but then if you played French horn in like a beautiful, fantastical adult orchestra, you'd actually have really good parts. So they do sound like fart noises though. They do. Your sis played French horn, she killed it. There were 2 French horn players. Big deal, right? That's just how it was, man. You went from French horn or to French horn from trumpet. Yeah, I just think like it can be a really, really, really nice sounding instrument, but the parts you get, this is the problem. The parts in easier pieces that you play in school orchestras for those kinds of instruments suck. They're so boring. A lot of kids don't like playing cello because your cello teacher in first grade is like, yo, you're gonna play canon in D, and you go bah, 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 the whole time, and you do that one riff over and over for 3 minutes, and you're like, brother, I hate it here. You get all the boring parts. But then when you're an adult, everyone's like, oh, I love the cello. It's such a beautiful instrument. I love solo cello. And you're like, oh, why aren't there that many solo cellists? Because in school, everyone plays the same 3 notes and they're like, I hate this. And they drop out and they go, let me play violin. Their part's fun. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. Sleigh ride on French horn. Oh, God. That was one of the few ones that was fun for cello because there's a part where you actually get the melody, which is something you would always say as like a cellist or viola player or whatever. You'd be like, oh man, we get the melody here. Conductor would turn to you and go, okay, for 2 measures, you guys get the melody, so play loud. And then after you do that, they're like, okay, now stop playing loud. Shut up, get in the back. Play your 2 notes, you stupid idiot. So it's just kind of like, you know, not the most fun sometimes. But I loved it because I had a really, really, really good teacher for the chamber orchestra, which was like the smaller orchestra just of the really good players. And you had to audition to get in, whatever. And the conductor that we had, she was so good. She was so good. She picked really good pieces that had very even parts. Everyone got something interesting. Whether it was the melody or not, it was an interesting part to play. It sounded nice. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much. So, yeah. Yeah. How heavy is a cello? Anyway, the thing is huge. They're big, but they're hollow. You could, I don't know. How heavy is a cello? 15 pounds? Maybe? I'm estimating. I actually don't know. I never weighed mine. I never weighed mine. I don't know. I should do that. I should like weigh myself and then pick up the cello and weigh both of us and see. Did you ever get a 6 solo? Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I was graduating, they did this for everyone who's graduating and was like a first chair. They would let you, if you wanted, for the end of year thing, you get to play a solo piece with the orchestra as your orchestra backing you up. So I got to do that. I got to do that. It was fun.